Micro Center is the go-to destination for all things PC-based, project-based, maker-based. So this video, I want to talk about a couple of things in that arena. First and foremost is this Minisforum UM760 Slim. This is a mini PC that we sell at Micro Center, and we carry a bunch of Minisforum products. These are really awesome, really powerful mini PCs that can do quite a bit. But what I really like about this is actually the price. We have this available for $349 right now, which is a really good deal, especially for what this can do. Now, this mini PC has an AMD Ryzen 5 7640HS processor. That's going to be 6 cores, 12 threads, and a 760M. That's the integrated graphics that come on this. Now, there is a UM780 that has a 780M, so that's going to be a little bit better for gaming and some other graphically intensive tasks. But the 760M, it's going to be more than enough for what I want to do today. This also comes with 16 gigabytes of RAM and a 1 terabyte SSD. I mean, this is spec'd out pretty well. 2.5 gigabit LAN on the back, it has Wi-Fi 6E, Bluetooth 5.3, you have USB 4 available, plenty of I/O ports. I mean, this really packs a punch. So today, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a project similar to something that Andy actually did in the Maker Lab just a couple of weeks ago. We came up with an idea of having an integrated micro lab that you can put on one of these boards where you can have everything you need in one concise little area. And the cool thing is we printed feet for this so this can stand up, but you can also wall mount this because the setup is going to be super lightweight. Now for Andy's video, we went with the Apple Mac Mini. That's the M4 that just came out not too long ago. But for what I need, I don't need that much power, and I wanted to save a couple of bucks, so that's why I went with the Minisforum here. One quick note on this guy, this does come with a single stick, 16 gigabyte of RAM. That is something that you may want to upgrade. You do want 2 sticks of RAM in this guy, at least 32 gigabytes will go a lot further, especially because that 760M integrated graphics is going to pool all that memory together and use that for any graphically intensive tasks. So that's something that you can find at Micro Center, and it's a very cheap and easy upgrade that you can do on your own, or you can have our service technicians do it for you. So something to look into. But for the purpose of this video, everything on the table I have here, I want to live on this board because in our Maker Lab, we have a wide range of 3D printers. We have so many over there, and Andy manages that whole space. But over here in our studio, we have a couple of 3D printers that I have in our podcast room, but the issue that I'm having is so many people are using those 3D printers, everyone has slicing programs on their desktop, and everyone's files are all over the place. It's really hard to manage. So I want to get everything integrated into one system that lives on the table there, but I don't want it to eat up a lot of space. And to be frank, I don't want to dedicate a whole massive PC just for slicing 3D print files. I mean, it seems kind of like a waste. That's where something like this comes in handy. So what I did was I got this guy. I have a portable monitor here. It's going to be powered by USB-C, but you're also going to get the display through the USB-C as well. So one single cable out of this USB 4, it's going to give you everything you need for this. And $349 for this guy. This is $79.99 right now, and I really like this portable monitor. It's super versatile. I like using it actually with our cameras sometimes. I'll hook it up to that, or I'll hook it up to a PC really quick because I just need a quick signal just to get some things going because, I mean, we mess around with a lot of PCs over here. Portable monitor, this guy, and a keyboard mouse. Now you can do any keyboard mouse. I just had this wireless combination lying around, so I decided to go with this guy, but this is a little bit too big to mount to this. Now you can go with something simpler with the trackpad built in. We have tons of wireless options or wired options available at Micro Center, of course. But this is going to be my combination here. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this bracket that I 3D printed last night, and this has the mounting points that we need to put it on the SCADAS board. And this is from IKEA. You can get these for like 15, 20 bucks. You can also 3D print these boards as well, which is kind of cool, but I just opted for the wood option. I think it just looks really nice. So this is going to hold our Minisforum just like that. It's got a cutout on the bottom, so all of your I/O is readily available. I want to have this part on the bottom so the power plug can be there, and I'm going to mount it straight here on the bottom of the board, probably run the power cable through the feet, and then I'll have the power button up top accessible with the other front I/O there. Now, I have a couple of USB dongles, so I'm just going to plug those in now into the back. So what I did was I found these files on Printables, and I'll link them in the description below to credit the original authors, because I personally do not know how to do much in terms of 3D design. Andy and Jacob do a lot of our designing for 3D printer file stuff, and I've been messing with Tinkercad. I can figure that out, and I can do some very basic shapes and very basic prints, but once you start getting slightly more advanced, that's where things kind of start getting lost on me. But one thing I do know how to do, I know how to take two different STLs and just merge them together in the Bamboo slicing software to make one new STL. So these Scatus mounting points were one STL that I found, and this frame, that's another STL I found. All I did was I just stuck that right in, merged it together, and it made one nice, really easy print. I did the same thing for this bracket here. Now, this is a Visa mount plate that I sliced in half. So it has the 100 by 100, the 75 by 75. I sliced it in half, and I also put these Scatus mounting hooks on this side. Except I made the mistake of putting these on the wrong side. I was actually supposed to put them on the other side, so that way these holes here allow for the screws to go in, and they'll be completely flush with the print. But because I put them on this side, they're gonna stick out, and I'm not gonna be able to put this into the board. I'm not an engineer, so, you know, slight oversight on my part. Fortunately, we have plenty of these hooks that you can get from IKEA because they sell them with the Scatus boards. So I'll use that to hold the monitor in place for now while I get this set up. But I figured for today's project, what I can do is I can fix the file that I merged together, and we can print a better one so I can actually do it right. Because yes, I can buy these things pretty easily, but why not just print it, right? All right, so I'm gonna get this going. I'm gonna put this guy right here, or I'll put the bracket first. And the cool thing is, you know, Scatus, the reason why this is a little bit better than your typical pegboard design is that these elongated holes here make it really easy to just hook things in. It's a more universal design, I find, for 3D prints. It's just a lot easier. Pegboards come in a lot of shapes and sizes. Usually it's the standard 1-inch spacing with a 1/4-inch hole, but I found a lot of files that are just always slightly off because it's some weird localized pegboard that someone has somewhere. So this seems a lot easier to deal with, and they're a little bit sturdier too because of the hook design. So I can just put this right on the bottom. This will fit right in. You just have to apply some pressure. There we go. Cool. Fits right in, push it right down, and it's locked into place. And there we go. We have our computer all set up over here. So next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use these hooks, and I'll just position them maybe here for our monitor. I don't wanna put it too high up. So the monitor has this hinge, which is really nice because you can stand this up in any position. Some of these portable monitors have like a flap, but I kind of like this a little bit better. It has the hinge covering the ports here. So the nice thing is you can just take the hinge, push it right up, and it goes flush on the other side. And then you can see you have the 100mm spaced Visa mount points here. So my plan was this was just going to screw on right here, and then I can just connect right onto the board. But I have to fix that, so I think that's what we're going to print today. Cool, I can just hang it off the hinge. Nice. I like it, that's really cool. It's always a snug fit. There we go. I moved this up a little bit because the cable's sticking out there at the bottom. Cool. That's it. I mean, I have a working micro lab going here. And now you can use these Minisforum mini PCs for a cluster. You can get several of them, cluster them together. There's all kinds of things you can do with this, little micro servers that you can do for like a home lab situation. I have to crack this open, but I think there's a second M2 slot in there that you can fill. I'll double check to make sure, but that's actually kind of an awesome feature. Let's see. All right, so I'm gonna remake the file for mounting the monitor. It's gonna be a pretty easy one, actually. So I just have these two files here. I'm just gonna download them here. So I am not an expert in all things 3D printing and 3D designing and all of that. You know, that's really more of like kind of Andy and Jacob's specialty. Those guys are really good at it. But they've taught me a little bit and I've learned enough. So for instance, in Bamboo, I'm taking this file and it's the full Visa 100 by 100 millimeter with the 75 by 75 millimeter holes on just a big plate. I'm just slicing that plate. And by slicing, I mean performing a cut, because all I need is this. The monitor only has the 2 mounting points, so I'm just gonna cut that right off. And then I'm just gonna take the two files with the hooks, just merge them together. That much I can do on my own without having to drag Andy over here and hold my hand. So this is pretty easy. Now, one thing I want to comment on is just the computer itself. Like this is pretty awesome. Again, $350 right out of the box. I got it set up. It comes with Windows 11, by the way. So that was an easy setup as well. Everything you need is right there. Again, maybe do that RAM upgrade, but that's something that you can do down the line. There's no rush to do it, but you will get a performance boost going from that single 16 gig stick to 2 32 gig sticks. So I recommend doing it, but again, you know, I leave that up to your own judgment. For my use case, this is exactly what I wanted. Like this is more than enough in terms of power. So I'm gonna cut this piece off too. So this file has like a wedge piece, but then it also has the hooks. Ta-da! Yeah, that's some real engineering right there. Yeah, I mean, again, you know, I am not a pro at this. There are people who are way better equipped at this than I am, but at least a year and a half ago, I didn't know anything about 3D printing. It was very new to me. Andy taught me a lot, and I think 3D printing is finally in a place where people like me who know a little bit, you know, technically wise, can actually just start doing stuff. And there's so many resources out there in terms of printables, in terms of even what Bamboo has to offer in their slicing software, because there's tons of prints available there as well. So it just makes it so easy to just get what you need to just start printing. I have found so many awesome files for, you know, all of my camera stuff, for all of my like fun stuff at home, you know, and also just printing like fun little toys. I have this little Mothman statue I love using in some of our videos. That's always just kind of a fun thing for me. Okay, so I was able to take the 2 files. I kind of matched them up a little bit. I put the hooks. I'm just going to merge them together so they are a single file. And that's it. I made sure that I did it right so that the part where the screws can be flush inside of the plate are on the same side as the hooks, because that was the mistake I made last night. And I'm just going to slice this up. I have the SD card for the Bamboo A1 that I'm going to be using for this. I don't have the Wi-Fi set up in here to do it through the slicer and just have that sent through Wi-Fi, so I'm just going to slice out the file, but pretty simple. And for those hooks, I just put on a simple tree support, and that's just going to do just fine. I'm going to slice this up. Ta-da! That's it. It's going to take about 53 minutes. Easy peasy. I'm just going to export the G-code directly onto the SD card here. I call it Scatus Visa Plate. There we go, that's it. Now, in terms of my use case for what I wanted out of this PC, that's it. Like, that's exactly what I wanted. I wanted something that is concise, compact, quick enough to slice whatever I need. It can handle any file. I'm gonna have no issue with that. I'm going to get the Creality slicer. I know Jacob's gonna wanna put Orca slicer. I'm gonna talk to Andy. He's gonna get us a couple of CAD programs on here that we can run. Very simple stuff, so we can just start messing around and doing some designs. And I really just wanna consolidate it, because the idea was I want one spot for everyone to kind of focus all of their 3D printing stuff onto, so it's not so scattered. There's so many times where Andy or Jacob will print something and I'm like, oh yeah, can I get a file of that? And it's like, oh yeah, the STL is like on my hard drive at home and I'll try to remember to bring it in. You know, it's always a whole thing. So it's a more coordinated effort to consolidate all of our 3D printing stuff, and I think it's just really cool and worth making a video about. This PC can do more. I mean, all your browser-based activities, anything that you need in terms of email, productivity, Office 365, Excel, PowerPoint, all of that stuff, even browser-based like Google Docs, Google Sheets, anything you need, there's more than enough juice in this little box. So there's a lot of opportunity there. And the cool thing is, I saw on printables and on the Bamboo files that people uploaded, there are tons and tons of 3D prints for Minisforum products. All kinds of stuff. Like the MSO1, you can get different racks, you can get different mounting hardware, you can get hardware to mount it behind your monitor, so I can mount this behind a monitor if I want, to make like an all-in-one solution. There's an under-the-desk kind of solution that some people are making as well, so that's pretty cool. I'm gonna go bring the printer over, I'm gonna set that up over here, let the print run, and then we're just gonna get this mounted. That'll do it. All right, cool. Looks like everything is all done. I'm gonna scoot this A1 over just a little bit. That's what I love about 3D printing. You can get whatever you want pretty quickly. All right, it looks like I actually did it right this time. So I have these Scatus hooks right here on the back, and then I have my little grooves there to put my screws. I don't have my lighter to take off some of these little hairs, but that's okay. So I'm gonna get my mounting hardware. Actually, I don't think I need the washers for this. Cool. I'm just gonna unplug this. So all in all, that's pretty easy. I have my mounting hardware, just these two screws right here. Now, M4 screws, that's what you're gonna want for this one. I think this is an M4 5, just the length. Oh, that came off. Look at that. Easy fit. Very nice. So now I can get rid of these pesky IKEA hooks. And I have my custom hook right here. I like this a lot. This is gonna be really cool. So let's see. I put this. That's an easy fit. That's a really easy fit. Now I put this one higher up because I think when I mount this in the podcast room where all the 3D printers are, I'm gonna want this maybe just a little bit higher. Maybe I'll offset it over here so I could put the mouse that we're gonna use, and then the keyboard can sit underneath. And then I think I'm just gonna wall mount this. That seems like the best and easiest solution. So again, I'm really happy with the way that this all came out. $349 for the Minisforum UM760, you know, another $80 for this portable monitor, but you can use any monitor that you choose. But this is a very powerful device that can do a lot. This is just one very simple use case. But what would you use with the Minisforum UM760? Let me know in the comments below. And stop by your local Micro Center and check out our wide range of Minisforum products, because we have a ton of small form factor PCs for you to check out. And if you don't have a Micro Center near you, then make sure you comment #I want a Micro Center near me.